raise your hands real high if you consider yourself a leader. Raise your hands real high. Okay, that's cool. And I love, you want me to tell you guys something? I love the honesty. Because a lot of times, you know, we'll go somewhere and we'll be like, man, who are the leaders in the room? And who all raise their hand? Everybody raise their hand, right? And everybody's not a leader. Would y'all agree with that? Everybody is not a leader. Leadership really is not for everybody. It's really not for everybody. Leadership is not for everybody. Because here's the thing about leadership. Leadership, it requires you to be able to influence and guide other people. Right? That's what leadership is at the root of it. You have to be able to influence and you have to be able to guide other people. But who do you believe the influencing and guiding has to start with? Who does it have to start with? Say it, say it. Say it. Somebody said it.
Yourself.
Yourself? Who said that?
Me.
Thank you. What's your name? Malia. It's got to start with you. The influencing and guiding, it has to start with you. You have to be able to exemplify what it is you want other people to follow. You got to be able to exemplify it. You have to be able to show what it is that I want you to do. Right? Because here's the mistake, right? Many times we believe great leaders are great by, you know, the instructions and directions that they give. Right? By being able to tell somebody what to do, right? Being bossy, so to speak, right? A lot of times we think, well, that's a good leader. He knows how to tell people what to do. She knows how to give people good directions. No, great leaders are great by the action that they take. That's what makes a great leader. Great leaders are simply great by what they do. That's what defines a great leader. And here's what I think about this all the time when I'm thinking about leadership. Is the reality is if we were to pack this room with leaders from all over, young, old, middle age, right? If we were to pack this room with leaders and we were to sit around and we would say, hey, leaders, all the leaders, hey, can y'all give us, would you mind telling us what are the qualities of a great leader? Would you guys mind doing that for us? And I guarantee you, we would get a long list of qualities. And they would all vary. They would all be different. And the reason is because they come from different walks of life. Right? They might come from different industries. Right? They come from different ways of doing things. They come from different ways of thinking. And so we would get a multitude of answers. And you guys yourself, you guys come from under different leadership, right? Some of you come from the leadership of different parents. Right? You come from the leadership within a classroom, from your teacher, from your principal. Some of you play sports. You come from leadership from a coach. And then some of you yourselves are leaders. You're leaders amongst your friends. You might be the leader in your classroom. You might be the person the teacher always designates to do something. You might be the leader on your team. You might be the leader in your cheer, with your cheer group, right? If you play an instrument, you might be the section leader. Right? And so within you guys' own experience, I want to hear from some of you guys, what are some qualities that you all believe are necessary to be a great leader? What are some of the key qualities that have to be a part of who you are to be a great leader?
Help your friends if they're down.
Okay, you got to be willing to help. You got to be willing to help. What you got?
Have peace.
Who?
Have peace.
Have peace. Wow, that's big. Oh, I like that. What you got?
Honesty.
Honesty, my man. Yes, ma'am. You got to believe. Oh, I love that. I love that answer. Yes, ma'am. Loyalty. Oh, y'all giving some good ones. What you got?
Sympathy.
Sympathy. Man, where you find these guys? Where y'all find these students? Those were some really dope answers. I really wasn't expecting those answers. But I love every single last one of those answers because I'm going to be honest, those are qualities that aren't normally associated, but that are necessary to be a great leader. And today I want to add one more to y'all's list. Are y'all okay with that? You okay if I give y'all one more to your list? All right? And what I'm going to give you today is not going to be anything new. When I say the word, you're like, oh yeah, I heard of that one. It's not anything new, but I'm going to tell you, when it comes to putting ourselves in the category of being a great leader, this word many times is forgotten. We leave it off. And the word is simply courage. Courage. Real simple, right? We know what courage is. Right? We all have had experiences with having to be courageous in moments in our lives. Right? What you got, sweetie?
Before this, we did this leadership thing where we had to represent every single letter of leadership.
Wow. And courage was one of them. Wow. Was it C? I'm just playing. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a bad joke. I'm a dad. I give bad dad jokes. But courage. I'm gonna get you 1 second, buddy. Courage. Here's the one thing about courage and understanding that it is necessary to be a great leader. Is that courage requires us to turn off our senses. Right? We know what our senses are: feel, touch, taste, those type of things, right? Right? And then we have other senses that a lot of times they come into play and they stop us from doing things. Right? We get this, what is called like a sixth sense, right? We start feeling something, we start noticing something, we start thinking something, and we're like, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna go this other way. And what courage does is it requires us to turn those senses off. And here's what I mean by that. What I mean is that along your journey of being a leader, I don't care where you are, I don't care if it's just you being a leader amongst your friends, along the journey of you being a leader, at some point you are going to be afraid. At some point you're going to experience a situation, you're going to experience a group of people, and you're going to simply be afraid. And here's what courage is going to require. It's going to require you to turn the fear off and face whoever or whatever it is and face it head on. That's what courage is going to require you to do. See, also along your journey, at some point, the right decision, the right thing to do is going to be the unpopular thing to do. And I know in you all's day and age of your time right now, doing the unpopular thing is scary. Because what it requires you to be willing and having to stand alone, away from everybody else. And that's what courage will require you to do as a leader. At some point, at some time, you're going to have to be willing to stand by yourself because you know this is the right thing to do. This is the right decision. This is the correct way for us to go. And I'll tell you guys, I love the English language. I love the English language because when we understand it, I encourage you guys to take some time and go into the dictionary, look up different words. Because it brings our words to life. And I'm going to tell you, courage in the dictionary, what courage says is it means that we're going to do something that we know is difficult or dangerous. It's difficult or dangerous. Could be both. Could be either or. But what courage didn't say, courage never said that there won't be difficult moments. Courage never said you won't experience dangerous times. Courage never said you might not experience a little bit of pain. Courage never even said you would be absent of fear. It never said that you might not experience fear, but here's what courage said. Courage says that in moments of difficult times, when you might experience a little bit of danger, when there might be a little bit of pain, when there might be a moment when you don't feel good, none of it will have the ability to stop you. And even when you might be faced with a little bit of fear, you won't have the moment where you will back down. It won't have that ability. And today, here's what I need from you guys. And I got you coming, big guy. I didn't forget you. Today, you guys have to be sure and ensure that before you leave out of here today, if you consider yourself a leader, if you're working towards being a leader, that you make courage a part of your DNA. You make it a part of your DNA. We know what DNA is, right? Right? DNA is that thing that's inside of you that can never be removed, no matter what. DNA is that thing that hey, I could change. Well, I don't have any hair. I got hair. If y'all believe it or not, I used to have hair. But I could change my hair color and make it blue. But my DNA says that my hair is black. I could go to the eye doctor and say, hey, eye doctor, hey, I want to get some green eyes. Can you give me some of those green contacts in the back? And no matter what, my DNA says that my eyes are brown. So no matter what I do, no matter what I try to do to change it, my DNA says that this is what it is. And today, it is important that you all make courage a part of your DNA. That means no matter what obstacles, it doesn't matter what your friends say, it doesn't matter what the popular thing is to do, because courage is a part of your DNA, there's just certain things that won't change. They won't allow you to be fearful. Those moments won't scare you. Those moments won't make you make the wrong decision. Because I'm here to tell you today, as a leader, there are going to be moments when you are going to have to take a stand, where you're going to have to make a decision, and you don't feel like it. You won't want to. You're going to be a little bit of afraid. There's going to be a moment where you have to make a decision. You're going to have to make choices, and it just might cost you some of your friends. It might. It just might. But here's the thing about being a leader, is that it is your job to always remember the goal. Always remember the purpose of the mission. Always remember, why are we doing this? Why are we going this way? Why did I make this decision? Why are we doing this? You have to constantly remind yourself of the goal, of the mission. Because you remember in the beginning, I said, as a leader, it is your job to do what? Two things: to influence and what? Guide. Influence and guide. It is your job as a leader to influence and guide. And that influencing and that guiding has to start with who?
Yourself.
It's got to start with me. It's got to start with me. That influencing, that guiding, it must start with me. Because here's a nugget for you. I'm gonna drop this nugget on you. I want you to grab it. I want you to grab that magic pen in the air, and I want you to write this in your brain and remember this. Everybody get the pen in the air and write. Get ready to write. Everybody get the pen up in the air. Get your pen up in the air and get ready to write this in your memory. Because here's something that you got to remember, is that people are always going to trust what you do before they trust what you say. I want you to hear that again. People are going to trust what you do before they trust what you say. Mr. Johnson can tell y'all all the right things to do in the world. Hey, you guys should do this. Hey, you guys should do that. Hey, these are the correct choices. And then if he's not willing to show you himself, if I'm not willing to show you myself as a parent for my children, there's no way I can leave the children in my home and ask them to do certain things that I'm not first willing to do myself. If I'm not first willing to make sacrifices, if I'm not first willing to give up things for other people. If you aren't willing to do and exemplify what it is you need other people to do first as a leader, leadership is not for you. It's not for you. And in order for you to be truly an effective and great leader, courage is going to have to be a part of your DNA. It's going to be a part of who you are and what you do daily as a leader, no matter where you go as being a leader. No matter where your leadership takes you, it's got to be a part of it. And today, young people, today, when you guys leave here today, leadership is going to bring about different challenges. It's going to bring about different moments where you're going to have to make certain decisions. And because courage is a part of your DNA, because it's a part of who you are, being courageous will just be what you do. Being fearless is just going to be a part of everything that you are. There won't be a moment that sparks so much fear in you that you'll want to be willing to turn the other way, that you'll be willing to make wrong decisions that'll cost other people. And so my challenge to you all today, as you grow in your leadership, as you make certain decisions to be a leader, remember first, leadership isn't for everybody. That it is your job to influence and guide other people. But that you first have to exemplify what you want other people to follow. And then fourthly, that your DNA Your DNA is made up of a lot of different things as a leader. There are a lot of lists. There's a long list of qualities to be a great leader. But you better make sure that courage is a part of that DNA. You better make sure that is in there somewhere. And so, guys, I appreciate y'all sitting, taking a moment to listen. I do hope that, I appreciate that, baby. I do hope that you were able to grab, as Mr. Johnson said, grab at least one thing. I said quite a few things, but my hope and goal is that you grabbed at least one thing that not only will allow you to be a great leader, but just be an amazing individual. There's nothing more powerful than you realizing and understanding the greatness that is within inside of you. There's nothing more powerful. Because I'm going to tell you today that there are only two opinions that really matter about you. There are only two opinions. There are only two. The first one is you. Your opinion about you is the only one that matters, really. The second one is God's. God's opinion about you is the only one that matters. Your opinion and God's opinion. They're the only two things that matter. And when you realize that greatness that's within inside of you, when you realize and understand how powerful you are, I don't care what mistakes you've made. I don't care if you grew up in a one-parent household. I don't care if you've been failing classes. I don't care what it looks like right now. There is nothing more powerful than your mind being made up that I am the dopest one alive. That I am the greatest. That there is nobody who is created like me. That there is nobody like me. Once you flip that switch on, you become the most powerful person in your life. You also can become the person that can tear you down the most. And so understanding these things about being a leader and understanding these things about the greatness that is within inside of you, those are the things that when you walk out of this door that are going to be required, because there's a whole lot of mess waiting on you all outside these doors. On your phones, there's a whole lot of mess waiting on you. There are a whole lot of reasons for you to think other than the fact that you are great. There's so many things on social media, on TV, on wherever it is you're looking, that are finding ways to tear you down. And so, guys, I hope that the nuggets that were dropped on you today are things that you all can walk out of here with and take action.